everyone. How are you? Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Wind Down. Welcome to the Wind Down, which is what I just said. I was going to say, welcome to the wine list down today, because your girl has no wine today. I am drinking water. So here's to that. I still wanted to put it in a glass because there's something about the ritual of it is quite calming. So let me know if you can hear me and we will go ahead and get started. Actually, the slides are in the wrong order, so let me reorder them real quick. Okay, perfect. All right. Hi, Natalia. How are you? I missed y'all last week. Hope you guys have had a good 2 weeks. I haven't seen you guys since last week. Perfect. Okay. So yes, the wind down is usually every Thursday at 7 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. So I'm usually here, and if I'm not here, I'll let you know beforehand. So we're going to hop right into it. Today, we are talking about what apparently everyone is talking about for some reason, the Met Gala. The Met Gala and AOC's dress, which I think this will be very interesting. I think this might actually be one of the first times where not all of us are going to agree, and I think that's totally fine. So we are going to probably do some calls today because we haven't done calls in a while. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Hi, Tashana. Yeah, no, I'm trying to, lose a little bit my panorama weight. So no wine. Although, if you have good red wine recommendations, let me know, because red wine has less sugar, so less calories, which y'all know I'm not big on red wine, but I'm trying. I'm getting there. Okay, so here is our agenda. So our agenda, let me make it a little bigger. Here we go. Okay, so Met Gala 101, because I see there are different information floating around the interwebs about how the Met Gala actually works. So we're just going to go through a few fun facts and a few fashions, old fashions, because this year it was not giving what it was supposed to give. And then we're going to talk about AOC in the dress. And then is it criticism or is it racialized misogyny? And then real, quote unquote, performative activism. I have a few pictures, and then we'll probably take a couple calls and do sip and discuss. All right, so let's hop into it. Okay, so this is the Met, the Metropolitan Museum, specifically in New York. As someone who has lived in New York for the past it's been 7 years. I love the Met, but I have a love-hate relationships in general with museums because a good amount of that issue there is stolen. It is. There is a new exhibit. I go to the Met 3-4 times a year. It's free if you are a New York City resident, which is good. But there's a whole exhibit in there now when I went last month that literally they're trying to do a better job. So they're highlighting the stuff that they think is pillaged. And I'm like, y'all should just give it back. And it's not just them. It's all of the colonizing institutions that have stolen shit in them. So they all need to give it back. I'm in big favor of just doing replicas and holograms. What does it matter? Information is information. It's educational. But yeah, so this is the Met in all of its glory. And the Met Gala generally takes place every year. It's at a different time this year because of COVID. And so the reason for the Met is basically the Met Gala is to raise funds for the Costume Institute. So to do so, it is $35,000 a seat. And I believe a table is $270,000. Basically, it's kind of just advertising for luxury companies, luxury brands like Chanel, etc. They buy tables, and then when they buy the table, they basically pick, okay, this is who I want to wear my outfit this year, and then they buy the celebs tickets. Some of the celebs do buy their tickets, most of them do not. AOC did not buy her ticket. Child, her salary is public information. She does not have enough coins for that. That did not happen. However, that's generally how it works. So it's not just celebs and fashion designers at the Met Gala. The billionaires also go to the Met Gala to see the celebs because they too are blindly enamored. So the billionaires that were in attendance this year were Blackstone Group CEO Stephen Schwarzman, Alejandro Santo Domingo, Joe Gebbia, who's the co-founder of Airbnb, Barry Diller is the chairman of Interactive Corp. So that's important because people kind of use it as a networking event, as an advertisement event. It's just for rich people. Let's keep it a buck. It's for rich people. This year it raised $16.7 million, which it costs more money to put on the Met Gala than they actually raise. And the money goes to the Costume Institute. So if you're not familiar with what the Costume Institute is, It is usually the exhibit downstairs. So every year they have a new exhibit. Some of the exhibits are beautiful. Basically, the Costume Institute hold on, because I made sure I put the clip because I was like, what, how many thousands are in here? So the Costume Institute's collection of more than 33,000 objects, it's a lot of stuff in the Costume Institute, represents 7 centuries, and it's not 33,000 on display at all times. 7 centuries of fashionable dress and accessories for men, women, and children from the 15th century to the present. So different years, they show different things. China Through the Looking Glass, in my opinion, was the most beautiful one. It was a couple years ago where that was a theme about, it was kind of a strange theme. The theme was Chinese couture, however, Americanized Chinese couture. I was like, y'all just gonna do what you want to do. But it was beautiful. So that is usually in there. In general, to be honest, when I think about museums as somebody who really likes to go to them, if the aliens ever were to pay us a visit, they would see the museum and then be confused and say, so all of the history are in these not really readily accessible places, but y'all have learned nothing from the history. Like, it's kind of hoarding. But if you live in a big city, most museums in the cities are free, which is good. So, hey, Kareen. Also, I love that it's Kareen, not Karen. Now, I always do it was Kareen. Yeah, so big up to Lupita, Venus Williams, and Queen Iman for the best dressed of the night. All right. So yes, so to be honest, the purpose is people just want to go be seen. The actual Costume Institute could fund itself. Like, let's $16 million and you have multiple billionaires in attendance. They want something fancy to do. And I have mixed feelings about, like, I don't particularly care. And we're going to get into that, why I think the controversy around her dress is interesting. All right, so here are some looks from Met Gala's past, because again, this year it was not, it's usually better. So here is Lupita. Lupita is always giving, always. Lupita giving face, giving hair, giving body that you can't see right here. And how you have Ree looking amazing, stunning. This is from China Through the Looking Glass from that year. And then I just threw this in for some pettiness. This is Beyonce, the OG of the naked dress, a la 2015, that the girls have been replicating over and over and over again. And they never do it as good. Sans Blood Diamond, which is good. Just put that out there. All right. So into the controversy, into what has become a national question, which I think, I don't know, I think it's a little misguided, but we're going to get into that. So there were a lot of tweets, of course. The tweet that made the most sense to me was this tweet, which y'all know I cannot see. Hold on. Okay, from Brianna Joy Gray, which is the AOC dress is merely a Rorschach, hopefully I didn't say that wrong, test. And the Rorschach test is, I had to look it up again because I forgot exactly what it was. The Rorschach test, much like in Watchmen, they have Rorschach as well, is the ink blot test, where you see ink blots and then you see in your mind whatever was in your subconscious, whatever you're already going to see. So basically, pulling this up big again, if you already hate her because you're a conservative, or distrust her because you're a leftist who feels she hasn't maximized her power to fight for working people, you hated it. If you think she's doing the best you can, you liked it. And I thought that was the best really quick synopsis of like what the heck was going on, because it was very all over the place. Like, obviously all the Republicans were mad. They were very mad that she wore this dress that said tax the rich. They were very upset that she was even attending. But a lot of people on the left also very upset. Why are you attending? Well, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't even go. She is a congresswoman from New York, particularly the Bronx and Queens, just to put that out there. People were all up in arms. And then there are people that love AOC. It doesn't, like, she could have worn whatever. And they're like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Now, personally, not that my opinion really matters particularly with this, because I want to get into the why, like how people actually treat her. I think is like more of an interesting conversation. Personally, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was peak irony. I thought it was so funny, because there were a lot of people, the criticism on the right, I think is just irrelevant. I expect them to be upset. They're upset about everything. It doesn't matter. However, the criticism on the left, I found a little surprising, and not surprising that people were criticizing, because the left has no solidarity whatsoever. It was surprising the nature of people's criticisms, how people attacked her, how people think that, oh, just because you go to one fancy event, now you cannot represent working class people. Well, everybody in the 99% who works, who owes six-figure student loans, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a nice little joke for all of us that work. Like, you know what? I feel seen. It's very funny. It's very funny. So I personally got a good laugh at it. However, there were some things that I didn't laugh about the more I started to do a little research into it. So let's go into that. So this is Aurora James. Oh, no, I lied to you. That's not Aurora James. Hold on. She was in the picture, but this is Aurora James, the designer. Aurora James is a lovely designer. She makes excellent clothing, seen on all the celebrities, doing very well, etc., etc., etc. Aurora James also created the 15% pledge. A 15% pledge is basically asking major retailers to dedicate 15% of their stock, that's not the word, like shelf space to Black brands, designers, etc. 15% pledge is great because what these big retailers, Tiffany just did it the other day with the Blood Diamond, what they've been doing is they get into controversies, they throw what seems to a regular person large amounts of money. For example, Tiffany got backlash about their Basquiat next to the Blood Diamond. Like, they show that Blood Diamond every so years. We see it every time. And they got backlash because Beyonce wore it. And then she wanted to sidestep and say that her team didn't know, which I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I adore her, but I'm not buying that story. No, everyone on your team is not dumb. I don't believe it. However, when they got the backlash, they said, oh, we're going to give $2 million to HBCUs. $2 million to a normal person is a lot of money. Most people will never see $2 million. $2 million to a billion-dollar company. For context, my first job out of law school was at Tiffany & Co. To a billion-dollar company that has no retail store in the whole continent of Africa, but takes diamonds out of Africa is shameful. $2 million is not even a percentage point. It's not appropriate. So the 15% pledge is basically like, y'all get in these problems, y'all do these awful things. Sephora got called racist the other day. They shut down all of Sephora for a day for training, gave some money. The percentage is never enough. It never makes an actual dent. So the 15% pledge is basically, hey, F your pennies, essentially is what it is. And do 15%. 15% is hundreds of $millions. 15% is actual equity. Excellent. Aurora James, kudos to her for that. The reason why people started bringing up Miss Aurora, who made this dress, is not because of her. It's because who's in the picture with her. So this is Brandon. Let me make sure I say his last. Benjamin. Sorry, I called that man Brandon. Benjamin Brofman. Benjamin Brofman, who is a very wealthy man. This is her beau, her love interest, as you can see in these pictures. Benjamin Brofman, I got rid of him, sorry. Benjamin Brofman estimated net worth is $100 million. Benjamin Brofman is a 0.01%er, is a rich man. Benjamin Brofman's dad was the former CEO of Seagram's. You see where this is going? So the question then becomes, okay, y'all think this is a joke? Like you're laughing in our face. This is funny to you? Or is it, yeah, AOC wore the dress. We, look at the dress. It's beautiful. Like we, the little people should, enjoy our inner laugh at the rich. It's fine. Why can't she have rich friends? Is that a problem? Is that a conflict of interest for her to have a problem? For her to wear this dress and to hang out with essentially what will be a billionaire? Benjamin Brofman, I keep calling, is his name Benjamin or Brandon? Lord have mercy. Benjamin, yes. Benjamin Brofman and his family, the Brofmans, are the 27th richest family in all of Canada. $2-point-something billion. So does the dress mean less when it's standing next to somebody who clearly, maybe in theory, believes in tax the rich, but clearly benefits from the loopholes around taxing the rich? It's an open-ended question. So that was my bigger qualm with it by the end. All right, so let's get into, I think, part of the conversation that people aren't having. I think people have forgotten about this man. In particular, I want to talk about how people treat AOC on both sides. This man is Ted Yoho, Ted or Tim, childless irrelevant. The man is an asshole, who is a representative, who is still a representative currently, who in 2020 decided to accost AOC while she was on the Capitol steps going to vote and called her, and quote, a fucking bitch. Do y'all remember this? And in case you forgot, that's totally okay. Receipts are good for everybody. So let's watch this recitation really quick. And yes, he did it. Yes, he admitted he did it. He said, and then a reporter also heard him saying this. He then decided to say, he said bullshit. And I'm like, sir, I don't believe you. Because at first he said nothing happened. Like, sir is lying. So let's go back into this. Let me make myself small. Okay, cool. One sec.
About 2 days ago, I was walking up the steps of the Capitol when Representative Yoho suddenly turned a corner, and he was accompanied by Representative Roger Williams, and accosted me on the steps right here in front of our nation's Capitol. I was minding my own business, walking up the steps, and Representative Yoho put his finger in my face. He called me disgusting. He called me crazy. He called me out of my mind. And he called me dangerous. And then he took a few more steps. And after I had recognized his comments as rude, he walked away and said, "I'm rude. You're calling me rude." I took a few steps ahead and I walked inside and cast my vote. Because my constituents send me here each and every day to fight for them. I walked back out and there were reporters in the front of the Capitol. And in front of reporters, Representative Yoho called me, and I quote, a f***ing bitch. These are the words that Representative Yoho levied against a congresswoman. The congresswoman that not only represents.
So yes. And that's still his job. And if I'm not mistaken, because I really don't feel like looking him up again right now, I'm pretty sure he's a representative from Florida, because Florida shames me every single day. So yes, I bring that up to remind people one thing. The way that both sides, particularly the right, but this is not news, treats AOC is very different. The way that people attack her is it's giving racism. It's giving racialized misogyny to me. It's not giving, oh, let's just criticize. Criticism is like, you learn from criticism. Whenever I say things that are wrong, y'all are quick to correct it. That's fine. I say, oh, okay, thank you. And then, fix the correction and move on. It's not giving correction with AOC all the time. Of course, people can be wrong. If you live in her district and you have a qualm, of course, voice your qualm, because your qualm matters the most. But a lot of people seem very distrustful of her in general, which I find interesting because nobody bothers Cory Booker in the fact that he has been dating Rosario Dawson for all these years and hangs out with rich celebrities all day, every day. The way that people just want to antagonize a non-white woman, I find very interesting. And to Carissa's point, I'm going to go through the comments all like towards the end so that way we get through it. But sometimes I feel like we just want to preach the choir. If you're going to say tax the rich, you should say to their face, she did, LOL. And that's what I took from it. Like, oh, this is hilarious. This is so funny. Like, no one expects them to all of a sudden be like, okay, fine, AOC, like we have to pay taxes. That wasn't really the point. The point was, we never get, I'm going to go on a very small tangent and then we'll go next. Most people in the 99%, which is the majority of us, are not rich, who the working class, the working poor, the middle class, the lower upper middle class, all that jazz, the working class, the working poor, and the lower middle class will never meet an actual rich, wealthy person. Rarely. It's very rare. Unless you live in a coastal city and you work in certain offices. And I say that for a fact because it's true. People meet rich people. Growing up in Miami, child, it's scammer rich, it's rapper rich, it's your PE teacher is driving a Mercedes rich. You see rich people who, if one medical bill, well, we back into normalcy. Wealth is people, Jeff Bezos. Wealth is people that have so much money, it doesn't matter what nonsense they do, they are perfectly fine. The minute that I was around wealth was never in Miami growing up, was when I moved to New York and I went to this law firm to, they used to do like, I'm not going to say the name of the law firm, they all do it and they're all shameful, but they do like fake Black recruitment. That's what it is, if we're calling it a spade, where they basically are like, oh, bring in the Black students from the law schools and we're going to show them around the law firm. It very much gives show the pores what they've never seen. We're going to show them around the law firm so they can aspire to work here. But then they don't hire Black people. It's very strange. So I go to this law firm. It was stunning. I had never in my life been in such a building. Stunning. It had a 2-story library, a whole view of the city, glass ceilings everywhere, just beautiful. I was in awe of the whole thing. Okay, bunch of Black kids in there. Down walk the partners. They're all white, of course. You know, they gotta show face that, look, I went to the Black event. We're not hiring them, but I went. You know, let them aspire to be the only, because we only hire 3, and it's not going to be any of them because they didn't go to Harvard. Okay, here go the partners. And I remember seeing that the clothing was just different. And I remember seeing these like very rich white men and these like very plain, to me, like, hello, I like the most plain looking suits that I really didn't think much of. And everything just looked very understated until I started looking. I was like, the tailoring in this is very different. Like, where is this suit from? And I would, first of all, I have some couth, very minimal, but some. I didn't ask any of them. I asked around. They're like, oh, the suit is from XYZ. These are like $5,000, $10,000 suits these partners are wearing. And lawyers perpetuate a lot of fake rich. A lot of lawyers are broke, honey, broke. But a lot of these partners are lawyers for fun, as in they are heirs to multi-billion-dollar estates, and they just wanted to be a lawyer. They felt like it. They have nothing to do. And that was the weirdest thing, to be in that space for the first time with my literal $70 H&M suit that I was like, oh, this suit is nice. I remember when I spent that $70, I was like, oh, this is the nicest suit I ever owned in my life. This suit is so expensive. To be next to somebody whose suit cost 10 grand, and that was nothing. The real 1% hides in a way that most regular people would never see because they're not in that space. So with that being said, I don't remember the reason why I went on that rant, but I went on that rant. So we are there. People are upset with AOC for going to be around these people. A lot of those celebrities, honey, are also broke, which we've talked about that. They're living rent-free culture. They ain't got no money. Every other day we see a celebrity that's, oh, so-and-so, former celebrity, now bankrupt. There's a few like real money bags are in there, but people see AOC as like, oh, you're social climbing. You're this. That's why you're going over there. When maybe it's not that. Maybe she just likes fashion. Like, why can't there be duality? Everyone else is allowed duality, but not. I'm just going to keep racialized women, non-white women. She's been wearing fashions. She's been wearing like what her money could afford her. What's the difference? Like, to me, I didn't see it like as so bothersome. Not y'all, but people don't give white women the same energy. And specifically, I have some receipts for that. All right. Oh, don't play this again. Hold on. So you might not know this woman. This is Congresswoman Maloney. Let's make her a little bigger. Congresswoman Maloney wore this gaudy dress talking about women's equality, women's rights, women's yes to all of that, especially attack on women's rights. That's great. Lovely. Of course, we have to support this. Congress Maloney of New York as well has very interesting views. And, you know, the thing about the internet and the thing about receipts is they don't die. So I think we'll go ahead and play this about Congresswoman, Congresswoman Maloney.
I salute the Bush administration for balancing war with compassion, for dropping food.
Just in case you're wondering who the hell that is, yes, this is non-Muslim Congresswoman Maloney in a burqa. Yes, it is. Okay.
Food, as well as bombs.
Seeing Maloney wear something that is sacred in many parts of that region as a part of our religion, as a part of cultural practice, and using it to justify war and to justify violence, and literally using rhetoric around war and violence. And that for me was very terrifying. I remember now, right, and understand now how that really created a lot of harm to my own community, especially as a...
It cut off. But it was saying as a hijab wearing Muslim woman. Yeah, so let's talk about this. Also, if you don't follow Diet Prada, I highly recommend. Yes, it's mostly fashion. It's mostly fashion whistleblowing. However, Diet Prada comes with receipts, and I love to see it. And I realized I meant to show one, and I don't have it on there, but that's fine. I'm gonna Google it while we're doing this, and then I'll show it to y'all while we're doing calls. So Congresswoman Maloney, when, mind you, she's a Democrat, she was all for the Afghanistan war, the war on Afghanistan. And she decided she was going to wear a burqa because her white entitlement allowed her to wear a burqa, which again is not just a cultural dress, a religious dress for Muslim women, a dress that white women have taken up in arms. Every other year they complain that, they're oppressed, they're this, they're that. Did y'all ask a Muslim woman? Did you ask before you made these statements? No, they don't ever ask nobody. And she decided, I'm gonna wear this burqa. I'm gonna go in front of Congress and wear this burqa and say, thank you, President Bush, for dropping food and bombs on other women, but they don't matter when the women are brown. But hey, let me wear this, women's rights, rah, tacky bullshit. No one's saying anything. I don't see any news articles about Congresswoman Maloney being a hypocrite. I don't see anything about, this is fake activism. I don't see anything about that. No, nothing. But it's okay because she's a different color, so she could say these things. She could do these things. It's fine. Let's find that interesting. And for the record, I will look it up and I will get back to you. I'm almost positive, since she's a congresswoman in New York City, that her constituents were not in favor of the Afghanistan war, as she is a Democrat and most of her constituents are also Democrats. And majority of Democrats are very anti-war. Now, I could stand corrected. Maybe back in 2001, half of NYC said to hell with it. But I highly, highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. All right. So the winner of performative activism will always be Nancy Pelosi, as this lives in my head rent-free every other business day. This one Nancy Pelosi decided, and she was not the only one, but she gets it for me the most because she loves to say rancid, wild shit that people just let her do constantly. For example, like when she said after George Floyd was murdered and the verdict came out, and quote, "Thank you, George Floyd, for your sacrifice." Ma'am, sacrifice where? The man is not a martyr. The man is a murder victim. But people let, Nancy do whatever. There was no outrage. There was just we the blacks being annoyed. Like, why are they in kente cloth? Also, in the words of Yaya, it looks like cheap kente cloth. It wasn't even well done. What was the reason? There's none. There's rarely a reason. All right, so there's that. And we made it to the end. So people are worried about a dress. Let me make JoJo a little bigger. I've had it up to my ears with him. I'm so irritated with him. People are worried about a dress when we should really be worried about this mess. Y'all know I had to put a little rhyme in there. So there's Joe being Joe, breaking promises every day. The Treasury Department seeks to track financial transaction of personal bank accounts over $600. So this was all the news. That was all everywhere yesterday on all the financial blogs. And yes, at first I was like, are the financial blogs trolling us? Like, what is this? I had to make sure, because I would say I follow a lot of reputable financial blogs. which I wanted to make sure, because I was like, I don't understand. And the more I read, the less I understood, besides the fact that I understood that tax the rich seems to have gotten lost in translation to bother the poor people. So the reason for this is that the US government, it seems very much illegal. It is very much illegal. I highly doubt this will pass. I'm only bringing this up so that way, when you are bored at work tomorrow, you can send an email or a call and leave a voicemail to your congressperson to tell them that this is not okay. The US government loses money all the time. Yes, you're hearing this correctly. The US government literally loses money, unaccounted for money. The IRS is almost defunct because they have lost so much money. How they lose money, but they don't lose the student loan amounts is beyond me. And I'm not talking about like thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, billions of dollars get lost, literally lost, unaccounted for. No one goes to jail. Nothing happens. They're just lost. So to make up for this deficit, the Treasury Department said, you know what? We are going to look into not everyone's personal bank accounts. Personal bank accounts is a loose term. Their Venmo, their PayPal, and their Cash App as well. Anything over $600. The current limit right now for certain states is $5,000. Others is $10,000. If you make a transaction larger than that, then the feds automatically look at what the hell are you doing? Which of course, like money laundering is a thing. Like we need some checks. $600, like on payday, most people have $600 in their account. The reason they want to do this is they're saying that people with side hustles, I pay my taxes, child. People with side hustles, people, a lot of estheticians, hairdressers, the little people are getting paid on Venmo, Cash App, etc., and they're not paying their taxes. According to JoJo and them, they're not paying their taxes. And you know what? We need that money. We told y'all to tax the rich. And y'all came back and said, you know what? Actually, little people, it's you. You have the money. This is preposterous. Now, I am not advocating for tax evasion. A, that's illegal. B, taxes should be used for the greater good of everyone. AKA, there should not be potholes on my street because I pay 33% tax. Yes, when you live in NYC, you have city, state, and federal tax. It's wild. The people that pay the most tax are actually people that make between 100 grand and 250. It's completely insane. The billionaires do not fall in that category. It's completely insane. So what I am saying is there is no way, it's impossible for a regular person to comply with the literal, Lord, I looked at the number. I'm going to have to look it up again. The very long tax code. If y'all want, let me look it up because I'm not going to say the number right. How long is the tax code? The tax code is allegedly so long that people don't actually know how to read the entire tax code, as in people don't know how long the tax code is, because the tax code is not just encapsulated in some book. The tax code gets updated by Congress every so often. It has grown over 3,000% in the past 20 years. And by it has grown, loopholes have been created for people that can afford a tax attorney. To take tax law, you have to be extremely good at math and an extremely good lawyer. Two things have to exist at once in one person, and somebody that wants to scroll through this. When I was in law school, it was specifically do not take the tax law class unless you want to go get your LLM, which is a master's of law, so higher than law school degree. It is a waste of time and you will get a bad grade. Was literally the advice the professor gave of his own class. I avoided that class like the plague. As y'all know, math is not my ministry. So the current tax code is around 2,600 pages because nobody knows how long the thing actually is. So a regular person who has a side hustle and is like, oh, I'm going to make some extra money and I'm going to help try pay off my student loans, now has to make sure, well, I can't owe them even a penny more because they're going to track my bank account to make sure, Stephanie, I saw that Google AdSense check was, this amount, and this math is not mathing. And their IRS is going to come after those people instead of just simply taxing the rich like we asked. But we're all instead concerned about a damn dress. What? Why? This is inappropriate. Also, this, as a Democrat, I'm constantly annoyed with them. This is being pushed by Democrats. So, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I would never call the other side my friend because, child, they're foul. But if y'all really are about not government being in your business, is somebody going to do something about this? Because this is grossly inappropriate. It's grossly inappropriate. So let's do some calls. Also, while we do calls, I'm going to look up some performative activism as well, because as y'all probably saw, I forgot the network was going to do that activist competition with Julianne Hough. I think that's how you spell her last name, who was literally in blackface. Yeah, so I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look that up for you because you deserve to look at that while we do some calls. So let's do some quick calls. All right. So we'll probably do like 10 minutes each so we can like get through if you guys want to call in. So cool. I agree. He was, and I'm so disappointed in him. He has extended mandatory minimums. I was like, if you guys follow me on Instagram, that was my qualm of the week the other day. Mandatory minimums should be unconstitutional. It's completely ridiculous. It's very inappropriate. He extended those. Joe is ignoring our student loan. He's like, oh, I know I told y'all to vote for me, but just shh, be quiet. Joe is never forgiving our student loans. I don't believe in that man. And now this, like, it's not giving what it was supposed to give. I'm very actively irritated with him. Not that he cares. Clearly not that he cares. But hey. All right, so Jace is calling. Hi, Jace.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. I just got off work and I saw like literally 2 seconds right after I shut all my work stuff down, I got the notification that you were live and I was just like,
well, look at that. See,
godly timing.
Late. I'm on time. Not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. That's all you need to know. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all? I mean, other than being annoyed about this foolishness.
It's such nonsense. It's giving, let's focus on something that matters. Now, if AOC's track record is not what she's purporting it to be, of course, that matters. I'm not saying that doesn't matter. Of course, then let's do apples to apples comparison. However, if you don't know, then can we focus on Joe? Because Joe is running amok.
This is a problem that I have with the left and leftists, and I'm gonna just say it. This is a problem that I specifically have with white leftists because this is a game to them. They don't like either. How to say this? Most white leftists on social media they're either upper middle class or just straight up rich. And so they're over here espousing all this leftist, rhetoric. And it's just like, okay, but do you actually believe that though?
I think
like y'all are over here at this woman for wearing a dress. Like someone in the chat earlier said, we're always saying tax the rich. All she did was take it to their faces. I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah,
and they were right.
It didn't bother me the way it seemed to have bothered a lot of people who truly feel, and I'm not talking about Republicans. They feel the way they feel. That's separate. It's obvious.
They always mad.
I'm talking about like on the left, it seemed to really bother people that she was even at the event. People literally like, it's not appropriate for you to go. And it was very much giving, I too want a nice dinner, but whatever. If I can't have one, you can't have one. It was silly. And also Keke Palmer took a tweet of that dinner. That food didn't look good. I'm just saying. If you care about food, the food does not, what's the purpose?
I mean,
this is a good question from Jojo Azevedo. Let me know if I said that right. I find myself wondering, does enjoying or participating in something that doesn't completely align with your core values make you a hypocrite? And that's really the question, because a lot of people came back here and I'm like, so you were going to turn down a free ticket to the Met Gala as a New Yorker, as somebody who's lived here all these years? The answer is no. I'm going to go and I'm going to look good.
Same.
Like,
same.
How does that change you as a person? How? For one evening, all of a sudden, you have become Cinderella. How? Unless you are all of a sudden becoming a billionaire sugar baby, then I don't see how that's affecting the rest of your life.
My thing is this, is to all of those people talking like that, all I have to say is, while you're over here demanding ideological purity from this woman, do you have straight up ideological purity? And no, you don't. And you want to know how I know that? Is because you exist in a capitalist society.
You can.
And the lovely thing about existing in a capitalist society is that you literally have to participate or you die. Those are your choices.
The only people that don't have to participate, ironically enough, are the 1%. They have enough money to buy sustainable shit every day. That crap is expensive.
It truly is.
They can get handmade everything, and they themselves can say, I paid that person etc. amount of money. I know I didn't do anything. Do they do it? No. But they can. They can afford it. No one ever has that conversation that you cannot exit out of capitalism unless you go live in the woods or you have a lot of money. You can dislike it. You can fight against it. Of course, I'm for all of that. But do not exit it. It's not happening.
Like, there is a degree of realism that is really absent from a lot of leftist spaces. And it's just like, boo-boo. Sometimes I gotta be sleep.
Oh, wait.
Sometimes I gotta be sleep. Sometimes I gotta turn the brain off. I can't be worried about being this paragon of leftist progressive values all the time.
Especially as a Black person, like, come the hell on. I'm tired.
Especially as a Black LGBT person. Okay.
Listen, like y'all that got less intersectional issues, go and try to get ideological purity. I think this is funny because people don't listen. Red scripting. Are you sure you 99%? I hear if you make 400K. Wow, child, if I ever see that, let me know. A year that you're part of the 1%. Boo boo. I don't make that. I have never made that. I have said multiple times that the starting salary of an attorney in big law is $180,000, and I have yet to see that. Yet to see it. So maybe you misheard. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
That was something they were arguing about on Twitter last night, and I was just like,
about,
like, are you rich if you make six figures? And I'm just like,
I saw that. That's actually we can talk about that for a little bit. That's a good point. Chelsea sent me that thread earlier, and I was reading it. And people that have that argument, I hate to break it to you, I don't mind sounding ridiculous. You don't understand tax brackets. So when you make $100,000 in New York, when I made $100,000 and I was like, I have finally made it. I've come from 30K to 100K. I'm rich. After taxes, it's not $100,000. When you make $100,000, and most people in New York that make $100,000 live in the city limits, you pay city tax, state tax, federal tax, 33% of tax. You end up with a little less than 70K. Stephanie, that's still a lot of money. Have you ever stepped foot inside New York real estate? All right, so now you need to live. Okay, there goes 30K. Okay, cool. Just on rent. Oh, Steph, that's a lot of money. It's $40,000 left. You have to eat. Black people pay Black tax. Literally, you have to support your mom, your brother, your auntie, your cousin. So-and-so has to go to school, and we pay it with a smile. You know what? Growing up, so-and-so did for me. I don't have a problem. Shell out the money. When you are done, what if you have children? Child, the money gone. The money gone. 100K in New York is barely middle class, if we're keeping a buck. But people, again, most people that are working class, or I would say like lower middle class, unless you work in one of these high profile, foolish corporate jobs, you never have access to what actual wealth is. So all you see is middle class and upper middle class people, and you're like, that's a rich person. Just look at them just living lavish, doing nonsense. Meanwhile, they're living paycheck to paycheck because the money is short.
And I find it interesting that you bring up Black tax, because I feel like products that are specific. Oh, by the way, something that you're always talking about, student loans. You got to pay those too.
How did I forget my student loans and my? I must be living in cloud 9 today.
She done forgot her student loans. She's just like, you know what? I don't need to think about that today. But like,
child, my best friend. Listen, and it depends on locality, your lifestyle, and your responsibilities. Exactly. Oh, and then to Kareen's point, yep, especially Caribbean people who also send money back to relatives too, and other immigrants. Brethren, barrel have to send. Barrel is not free. But let people tell you 100K, you're running around living lavish. Not in New York. San Francisco, 100K. Like, I don't even know what that would get you in San Francisco, in the Bay Area. Their taxes is higher than ours. The state tax in California is between, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, 10 and 13%. That's crazy. The state tax in New York is around 6%. And the city tax in New York City is 3%. Like, hello. I hate math, Terrence, but I have learned to adapt to the math. Because when you ignore your math, them bills are due, and then your ass is short. I'm done with that life. I'm done with that life.
But back to the point about black tax, which, by the way, I'm working full time, making $9.71 an hour. The amount of money I spent in a week making sure that my siblings were good on food.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's things people don't count. Like, if your sibling is telling you they're hungry, you just buy them the food.
Exactly. Like,
you just buy it. Like, that's nobody is counting that. Like, as somebody who has a budget, I don't count that shit. Like, they're hungry.
Exactly.
I don't know. Like, I've got to really go with my money, but the food is a struggle, as I talked about last time, for myself alone. But once you add kids, Gabriel's siblings come over. There's 3 of them. They're teenagers. They're quite large. Shout out to Aesop. He just went off to college. But when they come over, they're hungry. We feed them. Like, it is what it is. Nobody accounts for it. It gets spent. Right. The bank knows. I mean, and I guess Joe Biden will know when he starts snooping into our damn bank account. No, because like receipt on our food bill.
Like,
listen, like Miss One move, and it depends where you live. So Kansas City, 100K, you're rich. Listen, and to make 100K in Kansas City is probably very hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just gotta location, But yeah, it makes sense.
But my sisters are texting me, telling me them and their kids are hungry. I got the food in my account. I can send them the food. I can send them the money. I can send them the food. Am I just supposed to sit here and tell them no?
Yeah, no, you just be hungry. Like,
I have mad beef with most of my siblings. But at the end of the day, they're my freaking siblings.
Exactly.
They're my siblings. I'm not going to let them go hungry. And especially since they have kids too.
Exactly.
But
come on, Nikita. Kids have to eat every day. Listen, when I learned that as the oldest of 7, I was like, is this necessary? Like, I fed you, It's like a plant. Be like a plant. Stand in the sun. My little sister's going to watch this and be like, what? And I'm like, I fed you. Stop this. But like, come on, like it's kind of crazy. It's kind of nuts that, and again, it's back to, we talked about a few lives ago about class solidarity. Class solidarity is hard because the 1% consciously and subconsciously pit everyone else against each other. And are like, oh, the problem is it's not us. We're minding our business. We worked for this money. Bezos is, again, gallivanting to the moon. The problem is that lawyer you see there, you see those Ankara tops? She spent money. She has money to spend. See that? Look over there. And that's the problem, because then we sit there, we're looking at each other. Oh, what are you getting? What are you getting? What are you doing? All of us are one mistake away from being unhoused. It is what it is. We have when the crate challenge happened, the best tweet I saw was people tweeting and saying, but yes, for someone that doesn't have Twitter, people send me tweets. I have to say that because the Wine and Chill actual Twitter, I went to look to see like, oh, did somebody take it? Is like some defunct semi-porno thing. And I'm like, what is this? So yeah.
Ew.
In case you peruse, I don't know what that is. But people tweeted and were like, y'all are over here playing crate challenge like we have universal free healthcare.
I know.
Listen, do you know how much it costs? I had friends that have had, like, I'm 30, like I'm relatively young. I don't feel like it all the time, but that have medical debt. The idea of you having medical debt in a place that you pay taxes and are a functioning citizen is wild. And not even just pay tax, a place that you live in that has exorbitant amounts of money that it loses billions of dollars is wild. People have literal medical debt. Like student loan debt, okay, fine. Like, yes, I signed my name on these student loans with 10% interest because I didn't understand that because it's a scam. Fine, whatever. I did it affirmatively. Medical debt is something bad happened to me. I had to fix it or I would die. And now I owe tens of thousands of dollars? Why? What? This is a problem.
But back to the point about Black taxes. Products that are specifically for us cost more. Because why does a container of Shea Moisture cost? I
was literally about to say can too.
Why does the stuff that is formulated for specifically for ethnic hair, which we all know,
expensive.
Why is it that expensive when I can go one aisle over and get like a giant, like I think it's like this giant container of like conditioner from Garnier for like $5.
Yeah.
You know what $5 is going to get you when you're looking at the ethnic hair care section? Girl, I'll be lucky if I get a little bottle of oil for that. Well, itty bitty, like
Cantu costs $10K. I'm not $10K. Oh Lord, can you imagine? Costs $10 for one thing of Cantu. Like what? And then at that point, your hair is trained on products, so you really can't get rid of it. Like I've been, it's the 6th grade, the 7th grade, I went natural. Out of sheer curiosity, not because I was like, oh, defiant. I was like, oh, I just don't want to. I got the perm burned to my head, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I remember when I like had to figure out like what hair products, because nobody in my family was natural really. And I was like, okay. And I was Cantu. I was like, oh, this works. And literally, we are literally 2 decades later, it's the same product I keep using. Cantu could literally start costing, I actually shouldn't say that loud in case they're watching, $50. I would still buy it. I would literally still buy it.
And that's also, and speaking of Black tax, going back to this,
trifling. Wow. That's crazy. I'm sorry, Mama T. It's awful, but we're also supposed to be concerned about some dress. Like there are real problems. Like again, people are dying, Kim. Like
dead ass. And it's like, speaking of Black tax, Black people always have to be 2010. There's no messy bun for Black women. There's no messy bun for us. There's no
coming on here like this.
There's no cute sweatshirt and everything. Girl, I work from home. And I am lucky that the body that I live in, that most people look at me, they see someone who is a dude, even though that's not me. So I can get away with these things from time to time, but I work from home and I see, the women on camera is just like one has like fake lashes on. The other has her hair done all nice. Literally, I've been in training for like a week by this point now. Every day, hair looks nice. I just want to compliment her out the wazoo. It always looks so good. The other one's got the face is beat. I'm just like,
all the time.
And then
don't, then people look at you crazy. And I'm saying that because a couple of days I've just been rolling into work, looking not like this, and the looks have been very. I'm like, this is how you literally look. So, what's the difference, James, Jeff, John? What's the difference? One of my coworkers' name is actually James, and he's a lovely person. So I was just saying like names that would James. He would never. But like people are just kind of like, what? And I'm like, oh, listen, I'm not giving y'all foundation every day to not go outside. What is the purpose?
And like going back to my theme park job, that used to be the big theme of all of my calls. Literally looking at the white guests versus the black ones, and especially if they were continental Africans. And listen, honey, you can tell just by looking at them. I know that's typecasting and it's a bad thing and whatever, but like, I'm a Negro. I know what continental Africans dress like. I know what Black Americans dress like. I know what West Indians, Caribbean Americans dress like. Okay, like it's subtle. It's subtle things. It's subtle things. But anyway, especially when you start getting into the West Indians and the continental Africans, like they will come in they will come in dressed to the nines to a children's theme park where it is 90 degrees outside, and they will have sweated through everything in an hour. And they're over here in like some of their nicest clothing. And, I'm just like, word to you. Like I can't even.
Wait, where are we going with this take?
The take is that Black people always have to look their best at all the time.
Okay,
so,
that's where I thought we were going. Deji made a comment. Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're not going diaspora wars in this. Trust me.
No. That's not what I was trying to do here. That's not what I was trying to do here. No, I was just
to everybody. That's where I figured we were going with this.
That's not where I was going with this. Trust me. I don't play those games.
No matter the location, we'll all look good. That's what I've noticed. Right. Black people in general are always extra dressed, child. That's why the caricature of Black people acting a fool, welfare queen foolishness is not true. It has never been true.
Right. It's never been true ever.
It's never been true. It's never been true. Oh, Deji said he or she was playing. Sorry. Listen, I'm learning, but I'm not there, and I will admit it. I'm like, oh, I don't know what the first name means.
No, but like same though, like. Right,
child,
narrative. Oh, the bonnet wars. The bonnet wars.
Child. First of all, now we're all commenting President Joe from fake President Joe Biden saying you ain't Black. Lord have mercy. It's the irony, and it's kind of funny.
Should I?
I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. I've been telling my therapist I'm embracing calmness, child.
But it's just like, but like, it's just like,
oh, is that good?
And
that's why I'm like, Mama. This applies to real Biden and to fake troll Biden over here. It's like, just go on, mind the business, relax yourself. Haunted. I'm just gonna block.
But like,
I don't even know what's happening.
People don't think about those things.
They don't know how to speak English. That's also not a word. Multi-ethnical, child. They said
multi-ethnical.
They so sad, child. I was like, it's either going there or they're like trying to be ironic, but they are not smart enough to be ironic. So they're just sad, child.
Multi-ethnical.
Yeah.
Girl, we are all multi-ethnical.
Joe, I'm not even in the mood to hear. I'm in a business.
No. I am about to take it there.
No, we're not.
Well, I'm gonna take it halfway there. If you live in the West and your family has lived in the West for at least 5 generations, you are multi-ethnical. You have
That's not a word. We're not gonna encourage this fake word.
You have people from
Jose. The live is about nonsense now. We're just having that. Jose said, "What are we doing?" I came here for like, Jose, you done missed the educational part. I'm sorry. Jose, you're on CP time like I usually am, and now we're just chatting. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm just being foolish, but like
you can watch from the beginning. We were talking about AOC in the dress.
It's all of these things that go into that. And it's like you were saying, like, yeah, people see that you make 6 figures. And it's just like, oh my God, you make 6 figures. You're rich. And it's like.
They see that Sally Mae bill.
They like, oh.
That's what I keep trying to tell people. And that's why I explain. I don't know what people are arguing about. Do they think there are no slaves in Jamaica? Jamaica, a whole slave country. Oh, what are you talking about? Enslaved country. What? Child, it's Magic Negroes been around the Caribbean. I don't know what's happening. Again, I've been breaking down, child. My therapist would be so freaking proud.
Not Mama T encouraging the antics.
Mama T said she's gonna have some fun, okay? She's gonna have some fun on her Thursday evening. She's gonna get her good laugh in. A good laugh in. A plum fool.
No,
a plum fool.
And you know what?
I'm trying to rein it in. I'm trying to let the whoever, the hotebs, the one child, just whatever, child. Obviously, she's not black. Nobody said she was black. What? I guess it's gone to a place of stupidity.
AOC's dress was bad optics, and by the way, AOC is rich and she ain't black. Obviously. Who is saying she's black though? No, like, you can look at that woman and tell that she's not black though. Like, I'm sorry. Like, who?
Anyways, enough of this. I'm done with this.
Okay, but like, getting back to the point I was making, people like to look at these numbers and they don't like to look at actual things. Like,
they don't look at, but that's because a lot of people don't budget, so they don't actually look at expenses. Like, okay, if you, for example, if you make a child, just dumb. Just dumb. Like, I just don't have the patience right now. If you make a Jace is not white. Jace is a black man. Is a black person. Sorry, Jace. Jace is a black binary person. Left Jace alone. Anyway.
How did you get the impression that I was white?
that's like,
you know what? I'm not gonna. You know what? Like you said, we're done with that. We're not encouraging that. But like, let's get back on.
Terrence is not asking from a bad place. But back to the point is, people don't budget. Again, I think I might start doing budget videos. I've seen pictures of Jace. Don't worry. Jace is on my Patreon. Y'all should join. And in Patreon, we share pictures. Y'all asking random things. But if you do a budget, you realize it's about your expenses. So rich people, their expenses are significantly lower than the money coming in. Okay, people living paycheck to paycheck literally means your whole paycheck is spent because you have expenses to spend them on. All right, if somebody's making six figures, let's use me as an example. Somebody on the low end of six figures, 100 and some K, but owes more than they make, aka I owe $215,000. I do not make that, honey. Again, I have yet to ever see 180 grand. Then I have negative net worth. To be specific, my negative net worth is around, because I track it, where I'm at like 150 in the hole. I'm working my way. I started my debt-free journey at negative $310,000. But people don't want to hear that. People just are just like, oh, your income is everything. I'm like, your income is crap, because what will happen, again, back to these damn corporations. If you get fired, your income is zero. So counting your income, like your income from this random company, is just going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's not going to help you get ahead. But okay.
The other day, I'm sorry to take it back here, but
we're gonna get off in like 5 minutes, and I'll let y'all eat dinner, child. Just in case. I feel like this was fun. We've done very well with the silly comments. I'm proud of all of us, which is lovely.
But the other day, someone on Twitter was like, "Oh, that person can't be black. That person's not black because of a comment that I made about this boring white boy rapper." And they replied, "But you're not black though." And I'm just like,
we have to stop policing. Like, blackness is phenotypical. Boo boo. If you look black, he is black, and that's just that. What if we all have different interests? That's fine. Like, we're not gonna have like some homogenous interest level. White people do not all have the same interests. There are emo white people. There are, Karen white people. There are happy white people. There are hippie white people. There are geriatric white people. There are so many white people. Like, we have to get out of this mindset that there's only one type of blackness. However, and I'm going to give myself a disclaimer before someone brings it up, that doesn't mean that there are detrimental, sunken place black people that we should ostracize, aka that video. So I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh, no, definitely. But it's just
that's different, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about contrarian opinions. Certain people are purposely hurtful for pay. That's they, is what it is.
But like, I just find it so funny how they just made that snap judgment because I went against their opinion on this white boy rapper, by the way. They made that snap judgment because I went against their opinion on this white boy rapper. And because I like K-pop, like I mostly talk about K-pop on my Twitter.
Black people love K-pop. Black people love anime. I love anime. Well, a lot of like black men particularly are keeping anime alive. I'm convinced.
Black people run K-pop. Black people run K-pop.
Like it just because the people you don't know. We gotta learn to give each other space, child. We gotta learn to give each other space and different interests. It's fine. We will not die. We will not die, child. I think this is a good point from Deji. And yeah. Oh, you're over me. I was like, you're leaving me, Jace? No, it's fine. Sounded so needy. But yes. Thank you for calling. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. You always let me come in here and just act a fool. Act a plum fool.
It's fine. It's fine. I enjoy it. I do. I'm not gonna lie.
All
right. I'll catch you later.
Bye.
Okay, this is the last point, and then we can all go eat dinner, depending on where you are. So to Deji's point, in 2016, the typical middle-class Black household had $13,024 in wealth. Wealth, remember, this is not income. This is wealth. Money, wealth. Your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. Your income is not an asset, honey. Your income can help you get assets, but your income is not an asset. I think there's a lot of, not even miscommunication, just lack of financial literacy education in this country, to be honest, versus $149,703 for the median, I think white household was the rest, from the Washington Post. The racial wealth gap in this country is wild. By Tashana is completely wild. It's also makes sense why it's there because it's purposeful. And we will get into that. Actually, I want to do a video on that and we'll talk about that. So yeah. So I appreciate all of you guys. This has been great. And it's 1:18. Why are you still up, Janice? Or Janice? Let me know which one. But yeah. So on that note, me and my water are going to get dinner. I appreciate all of you guys. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Let me know what are things coming up. The student loan video, the monthly update that I do on my student loans will come up this week. Do you guys want to do the Chloe Ting lawsuit? Chloe Ting is the workout woman. She has like very cool like workout. Come on, UK gang. Y'all stay awake. I love y'all. We can do that one. I think it's very interesting. I think that is an interesting case about literally cyber stalking. Like this man stalked her to the point where she had to sue him. He essentially stalked her, made over 50 videos about her, like just saying like random wild stuff. It was hurtful, obviously, but also strange. Like YouTube needs HR. I said this so many times. Okay, so we'll do that one. I'm a little like late and behind on it, but I had done the research and then life happened, child. So we'll do that. And then let me know if there are other things you want to see. A few of you asked about Noel, is that his name? I can't remember his name. Nerlens, about that lawsuit. The game has a lawsuit that he's in paying. Oh, let me know. Yeah, you guys can always, tag them, send them to me on Instagram. I'm much better about my DMs. I see them now. She's still around doing nonsense. She's scary. Thank you. And okay, so we'll do that. Oh, the wedding was beautiful, by the way. Shout out to Leah. Congratulations, boo. She's Ethiopian, so it was like an Ethiopian and an American wedding, and it was beautiful. I love seeing all like the traditional things. So it was so nice. It was like so much love. I was just so happy to see people like being happy. Life is cantankerous sometimes. Like lately, life has been cantankerous. So it was nice. Thank you for asking. So yeah, so I will see you guys later, and yeah, and I'm going back to like. Last thing, I keep saying last thing. I'm trying to go back. No, I'm going back to 2 videos a week because I know like the past 6 weeks, it's only been just the live. Because I've been a little burnt out, to be honest, like not from this, but like from work. So keep me honest. We're going to do 2 videos a week. This is the second one this week. So I'm on track, but I'll see y'all later. So have a good night. Enjoy your dinner if it's dinner time. Have a lovely rest for those of you in the UK and elsewhere. And and for South Africa. So all you guys are here. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.